Your team matters more than your timing. Hi, my name's Kevin Retcher. I'm the owner of First Meridian Mortgage, and I cannot stress going into 2026, if you're thinking about buying a new home, whether you're a first-time home buyer or a move-up buyer, your team matters more than you know. So before you fall in love with a house online, before you go to a single open house, you need the right team in place. And I mean really the right team. Why does your team matter? Because your competition isn't other buyers. Your competition is buyers with better preparation and better teams. You need a few key people when it comes to your team. I'm going to expand on this a little bit more than normal based upon the fact that I am a licensed mortgage broker. I'm a licensed independent insurance agent, a licensed realtor, okay? What I want to add to that first is you want to have a lender that you trust, not a lender with the lowest advertised rate, lender who can actually get you to the finish line. Someone like myself, I have never missed a closing date in my career in 30 years. What you should look for is clear communication from the loan officer, not just jargon. Transparency. You should understand his fees. He should be willing to give you a closing cost estimate on a home that you're deciding you might want to put an offer in. If you're going to go look at 5 homes over the weekend, hit him up and say, hey, can you give me a closing cost worksheet on the highest one? You don't need it on every one, just on the highest. You can figure out that it's cheaper on the other ones. Should be flexible, should have plenty of programs. I have 30 different lenders. They all have 15 or more programs. So not all one lenders fit everyone's needs. So I have multiple lenders that have 30-year fixed. I have multiple that have 20. I have multiple that have 15-year. I have multiple that have ARMs. So mortgage broker, there's more truth in lending with a mortgage broker than a bank. Got more than one option. Should be able to give you realistic numbers that can be counted on. They should have competitive interest rates. You should understand and ask them, how do you get paid? As a mortgage broker, we have to tell you exactly what we get paid. A lender does not. A credit union does not. If you ask that loan officer, how much is the bank making on this loan? They don't have that answer. A mortgage broker does. He gets wholesale rates. He adds his fee, which he has to disclose, and you know exactly what you're getting. So as a mortgage broker, I've seen plenty of loan officers overpromise, underdeliver, quote rates that are too good to be true, and they don't tell you about appraisal contingencies. They don't warn you about timing, lenders. They just want the deal. They're just yes people. You want someone that's willing to tell you, no, hey, you're stretching too far. You want honesty and integrity within your loan officer. So a great lender helps you understand actual options. They don't push you to the biggest loan, the biggest purchase price. They help you make that right decision for you. Second, and I can speak about this also, but you want a realtor with experience. It's not 2021 anymore. Back then, if you were licensed, you essentially were able to get, offers accepted, and you didn't have to understand necessarily the market, and those days are kind of gone. Now you need someone who actually understands the market, pricing, negotiations, and contracts. Questions you want to ask is, do they educate you or do they push you? Do they listen to your goals or try to rush you? Do they understand financing, and are they pushing you to what your max is, or are they trying to find homes that you're comfortable with within your budget? And mention budget, know your numbers, right? Are they responsive, or do they take 2 or 3 days to text you back. A good agent, if you like a house that came available, they should be figuring out how to get you in that house as fast as possible. If you like a house, you should be able to get in that house in a reasonable time frame so that you have the option to potentially buy that dream home that you're looking for. The thing about it is, if they take 2 or 3 days to get you in, you're going to lose out on some homes that you may have wanted to see. Next is an insurance agent. Okay? Understand that a lot of surprises over the last couple of years are the cost of insurance. Had a lot of storms over the last 5 years, hailstorms, things in Florida, things in California. They all affect the price of your insurance. So when your lender's doing a pre-qual, he's using a generic number that he feels is appropriate for the size house that you're potentially looking at, right? But it's not an actual number. Here's the thing. Typically you want to bundle your auto with your home, but you don't have to. But you should have access to an insurance agent that if you say, hey, I want to look at this house on Sunday and I'd like a quote on what the insurance cost might actually be. That way you don't get surprised. So here's the thing. I, as a loan officer and an independent insurance agent, every time someone actually does a loan application, I do an insurance quote. And the reason for that is there's the possibility there's been insurance claims on a home. And those claims, depending on what they are, how far a home may be away from a fire hydrant or a fire department, location, zip codes, is there more crime in that area, things of that nature all affect the price of that insurance. Here's the thing. If your lender is using a low number, 120, 150, and it turns out to be 300, that could be the difference in your debt to income ratio and whether or not you actually qualify. You may or may not want that high of an insurance payment. You may not want the house because of that. It might be in a flood zone, or more importantly, I may find that there was some claims on the house, some water damage, and now when you go into negotiating this deal, you can ask, hey, what was this claim? And double check that it was repaired properly, right? What if there was a leak from upstairs and there's water draining down all the walls, and come to find out they've painted over mold and you don't know to look for that and they've hidden it from you, right? And then you find out after you purchased 3 months later, mold comes back. Here's the thing, a good insurance agent can let you know if there were claims, and it might just save you from buying the wrong house. Fourth part of your team. Fourth part of your team is a good title company. Here's the thing. This day and age, I want you to listen to this. It's super simple to Google title companies in your area, and they have a calculator right on their website typically that you can punch in a purchase price and a loan amount, and it'll give you a list of their fees. First and foremost, you should do that. You should ask your loan officer if he can recommend a couple title companies. Go to their calculators. Do this before you talk to your realtor about that. Realtors, I love you, and I can throw you under the bus because I am one, right? Realtors have their favorite title companies. They don't necessarily care about your fees. They just like sending the business to where they want. But here's probably the reason why. I would ask the realtor or the lender, whenever they give you a recommendation, are you getting any benefit from sending somebody to RGS or MBH, Republic Title? Are you getting some type of kickback? Do you have a marketing service agreement or an affiliation with them? When you sign your paperwork with the realtor, typically there's a list of affiliates. Is the lender they recommended you to on that list? Is the title company? Is the insurance agent? Know who your team is in bed with. Here's the thing, is in some cases, it's in their interest. I get so annoyed when I see a listing that says the seller prefers to use MBH title. That's BS. The realtor wants you to use them so that they either get a higher commission or they get a kickback. In some of that fine print, what you may see is realtor team, XYZ settlement company, realtor owns 59% of LLC title company owns 39%, blah, blah, blah. Title company wants all of their business, but they're giving up a piece of the title insurance to reward them for sending them that business. Yes, they're an owner in the company, so it makes it legal. But doesn't mean that they're going to give you the best deal. So I'm going to make both of them happy. So all that's the bad news. I'm going to tell you how to get around it, right? You do a couple quotes with title companies, find one that has the best price. And when the realtor says, once you use MBH, yes, I do get something from that, you say, fine, I'm happy to use them as long as they will match XYZ company's fees. Then you both win. 9 out of 10 times, they're always going to do that because they want to work with them anyway. They also want to make whatever money they can, so they're happy to lower their fee to match what's competitive. So those are your 4 key individuals that you need on your team. So some red flags to avoid in all of that. Pressure to make quick decisions. Poor communications from anyone within the team, get rid of them. Minimal knowledge. When it comes to your agent, how many deals did they do last year? Are they brand new to the industry? Are they a friend or family and they've done 2 transactions? Well, you know what? I generally would probably not give them my business, okay? I personally bought 7 homes, used an agent on every one of them, and every single time one little thing could have been better and or something was missed. Good agents make those less, those minor things happen less. Good lenders happen less, all of those things. So trying to do all the tasks, if someone is not listening to you and they're on your team, get rid of them, okay? But that is how I would formulate a team in conjunction with being a first-time home buyer. You don't have to have the house picked out to reach out to any of those individuals and start getting your team and that process started earlier. So get your pre-qual, get your pre-approval done, build your relationship with your realtor, with the title company, with your insurance agent, and by the time the opportunity appears, you're going to be ready to move. In closing, my name is Kevin Retcher. This is The Till. Please do me a favor. About 75 to 80% of the people that watch my videos aren't subscribers, haven't hit a like button. All those things do help me. In the end, I am a mortgage broker licensed in Virginia, Maryland, D.C. I'm an independent insurance agent in all 3 of those jurisdictions also, and a realtor in Virginia. If you're looking for some sound advice, I'm happy to do one of those services or all those services for you, depending on your needs. Here's the thing. In my 30-year career, whether you have a new agent on your side, if you choose me as your lender, I have the expertise to make sure that you get home. So whether or not you have the most experienced agent or a new agent, I'm here to help you and give you the proper advice that you need to successfully become a homeowner in 2026. My phone number is 703-799-5626. I look forward to serving you. To all my veterans out there, thank you for your service. To all my Marine Corps buddies, Semper Fi. I'll talk to you soon.